quote that I like from Maya Angelou, the famous author, poet, and civil rights activist. And it is, in diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. And I feel like this quote really connects to tolerance, because tolerance means being open to the differences that exist among us all, and it means respecting and learning from others, valuing our differences, and discovering what we have in common. So think about how we can make Fritz even more awesome by exhibiting the character trait of tolerance. We need to respect each other more and respect our differences and really celebrate what we have in common.
I'm going to tell you a story about how I experience tolerance on a daily basis. A lot of you know that I have 2 dogs. I have a really big dog that's 85 pounds, and I have a smaller dog that is newer to our family that's about 14 pounds. And my big dog was the only dog for a long time and was the boss of the house, and then this little dog came in and he gives Sam, my big dog, a really hard time on a daily basis. For example, he's constantly barking in Sam's face. When I walk in the door, he wants me to greet him first, so he attacks Sam with lots and lots of barks. He even jumps up and nips on Sam's ears. And what does Sam do? He tolerates it pretty well. He just shrugs it off. I mean, dogs don't shrug, but he shrugs it off, walks away, and comes back to me later to greet me. So he really allows Joey, the little dog, to be the boss. I don't know why, but he tolerates it pretty well.
Okay, I want to talk to you all about tolerance. Being nice to someone you dislike doesn't mean you're fake. It just means you're mature enough to tolerate your dislikes toward them.
I've observed kids showing tolerance in reading groups before. Maybe a better reader is giving their reading partner time to work out a tricky word. It's tolerant not to blurt out a word and give that child time to work out a tricky one.
Okay. Tolerance means a lot to students, especially in ESL. Some come from other countries where they have different cultures or different customs, so that means they might say hello differently. Some wave and say hello. Some people shake hands. Some people give a hug when they say hello. And some people even give a kiss on the cheek. Some people say hello this way. So a way that we can be tolerant of other people in ESL is to say hello in different ways to our students. And I have seen students learn how to say hello in other languages too. So for example, hola means hello in Spanish, and sabaydi means means hello in Lao. So there are many ways that we can be tolerant of each other, even if we're from all other countries in the world.
As most of you know, I have 2 little girls. I have Maddie, who's 3, and Caroline, who just turned 16 months. And for any of you that might have younger sisters or brothers, you might know that they like to take or play with whatever you're playing with. So I get to witness Madeline showing tolerance on a daily basis because Caroline always comes and wants to play with whatever she has or steals her toys. And instead of Madeline screaming and crying and grabbing the toy back from her, she goes and finds something else to do because she understands that Caroline doesn't know any better yet.
Tolerance is being accepting and understanding toward people who are different than you. It could be in the way they speak, look, or their needs.
When I first started teaching, I lived and worked on a Native American reservation for 2 years. It was a lesson in tolerance for me because the Native Americans looked very different from me. They spoke a different language from me, and they even dressed differently from me. They too had to learn to be tolerant of me since I was very different from them. But I learned very quickly that we shared a lot in common. We laughed at things that were funny, we cried when things were sad, and we wanted people to show us kindness. And that made us not so different after all.
A time I display tolerance is with my sister when we play Super Nintendo, because she's not very good and I still let her play with me. We even have fun when she dies.